cheaper?
Actually, that's one set. We will probably have to buy another set for the other backhoe rear tires. Sometime they're still holding there, but this backhoe, one of them got to where couldn't be fixed. Had a pretty gash in it, so go ahead and bought some new tires for it. That's the only business I had except for the budget. You talked about discussing the road and bridge budget today with me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I can check this today. This is good.
Yeah.
It says something about it.
It also costs a good amount.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Well, that's good. I need to more. Yeah.
Yeah, about 4. We got Peggy here too. Let's get we'll probably go over some of it, I guess.
We go over some of it, because we may have to have you come back.
All I have is purchase order stuff. You can have it finished. Plenty of time.
Oh, okay. Well, if you had some purchase order, then.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. We'll make you sit here all day.
You can have plenty of time.
And never mind, I got a question for you, if you can answer.
Okay, I'll try.
Northeast Kansas area on aging. What is, we were going through budget stuff the other day, and I couldn't quite figure it out. It looks like some of the stuff they're doing, Project Concern is doing, I couldn't find anything statutorily where you have to statutorily fund it, but I can't tell exactly. I know you represent us.
I represent you on the board, and I do not know the statute whether you.
I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
I mean, do we get anything out of it? I mean, is it?
I'm not sure how much we contribute to Project Concern, but Project Concern is a piece of that. The other piece, the other piece is that happens just even at the state level is the assessments and those kinds of things for people in the county that need services in their home, those kinds of things. So, to be honest with you, I'm not sure what our contributing is going to that, and
we have to mail it to the council because there's a statute on that. Council on Aging, that's what Project Concern is.
Yeah, that's right.
okay.
But the Northeast area aging, that's the one they're out of our law.
Right.
It's probably the multi-county.
It is multi-county, ground off and.
Is it the same one that's in the multi-county health?
No, this is separate.
It's separate.
Yeah, separate.
Are they located out there? No, they're not located out there because they're on Woodward Street. So
and I know there are 3 Atchison members on the board, myself included.
So what's their function? Is it just assistance?
It is the governing board of the area agency on aging. So we determine their personnel policies, their insurance, their function.
So a lot of their funding probably comes through grants and stuff?
Yeah, major parts of the state.
Because I know learning on the kneecap, I mean, we don't contribute very much, but, I mean, they got a big budget, but it's basically grants that basically funds them, and so you have a board that represents the various organizations that contribute that helps govern.
Where all that money goes. And
so I'm guessing that's basically what you guys.
They didn't send us the budget, they didn't send us, like, anything, so I can't tell what. It just seemed like some of the things they're doing we already got covered in.
Yeah.
Like kneecap does some stuff.
I can bring you their budgets and where their money's going, so you can see, because I did that each time I go to the meeting, so you can see what it's spent on.
Because you've been going for a year or 2?
Yeah, year and a half, something like that, year and a half.
How often do they meet?
About once every 2 months.
Okay.
Sometimes more
About 6
often.
times a year.
Yeah. Sometimes more often.
I just couldn't figure out, it looked like some of the areas they were, but it didn't say, like, in the letter, it just said something about grants. It didn't say anything about, as far as, like, the funding. I couldn't tell what.
Well, sure, I'm guessing that they're funded very similar to what NECAP is, and that, most of those are state and federal grants.
Right, a lot of it is, yeah. So I don't know how much you contribute or, you know.
I think it's about that.
Yeah.
Almost 1,700 is what they do, and we give 2,500 to NECAP.
Yeah, this one shows more, man.
Well, they're asking.
This is asking for 26, pretty seven.
I guess the question I'm just trying to figure out, like, are we already covering with several other agencies? I mean, this is just an area that.
Well, it helps support, project concern here in town.
We got we got like, 114,000 already going. I'm just trying to make sure we're not double covering it.
Yeah, I think a good portion of what goes to them is cost of meals.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what is covered by them, it's cost of meals, not anything else really, to my knowledge. There's no funding is for the property, for any of those kinds of things.
For a project.
Project concern.
Yeah.
It's all just,
Like the
it's
property
like
taking
$1,
time. Yeah. The city of Atchison owns it for, well, I don't know who owns it. The city of Atchison owns that.
A senior citizen,
Center.
don't even know.
I bet they probably do too.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out if it was.
I think most of it comes from grants and from state money.
Well, it has to, because
Yeah.
it's a fairly big organization, but that's all that each county, if we were equal, 60 or more, very far.
Right.
And the same way when you see how big the programs they got,
Right.
and I'm sitting there, we've got 8 or 9 people in their county, $2,500 don't go very far.
No, it doesn't.
But then you go look and they got a list of who's the grants and getting, they get a whole
Right.
ton of grants, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what they do is they arrange to provide minimum air for people, whether you go to nursing home, I mean, there's a huge number of programs.
And some of that, it may, like with grants, sometimes it doesn't cover reimbursement, I mean, like, some of us, some do charge, or they pay you mileage, and some don't, those kind of things probably have to come out of the budget somewhere, or certain things the grant won't cover, so that money has to be, maybe some of the operating, or the maintenance, or the utility, or something, but a lot of times, sometimes your grants don't cover that kind of stuff. I'm just assuming, I haven't thought it all yet.
Yeah.
I tried to get on the website just to see what it did, and some of it was like referrals, and like a lot of it was referring to state offices, and it's like, well, what are you?
Yeah, and it's training programs to teach people how to deal with, things like MS, or, to stay healthy, those kinds of things. So it's a variety of different programs. I will bring you, because, that's part of what I get each time, their budget, their income statement. So I'll bring that to you, so that you can look it over and see, exactly what it is that they're.
Well, it's not gonna make a break, just.
We're just trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, think Kate can just scan it, you know.
Yeah, are you able to scan the emails now?
Yeah.
That works better, less paper.
All right, good, I can do that.
I got a little bit of paper, as you can see.
Okay.
I feel like I'm sure reporters.
Yeah, last night was fun carrying a lot of paper.
I gotta figure out what, I was telling them, like, there's like links to like state, you go to like each county, and some of the counties we went through, some of the counties already had, like, on their website, they already had, like, elections already tallied on their website. It said unofficial, but it wasn't canvassed, but they already had, what systems were they using to get that up there on their website?
I don't know.
Cause there were like people asking all
I know
over.
they could probably do that too, because she's got some equipment that, you know, where we don't have to have that big board,
Yeah.
you know, but she got called out yesterday, she started setting it up and got called out to one of the precincts, they were having a problem and she never got it set up, so that's why we had to end up doing the board again.
Okay.
So the website, I don't know, I mean,
There were quite a few of them that were doing, I didn't know if they had a different system overall, or.
I don't know.
I don't know, it was just really nice that you could go and pull up just about
But
everything.
somebody called in last night, let me know if they could get on our website and get the results, and she said not yet. I don't know if she plans on putting them out there somehow, or.
There was, I've had a lot of people who were, wanting like to look at like, I don't know, like a handout or just an election handout, like this is what you have to bring, you had to vote, this is where you would go, you know, it's like a general, or like brochure essentially, that's like something we have online and where you can hand out, but I've had a lot of people requesting those, so I think it'd probably be a good thing. Yeah, I don't think it costs a whole lot to put something like that out, right, get a lot of benefit out, maybe get some more voter numbers to turn out, I didn't know what the percentage was.
Yeah. What was the percentage?
I think altogether, we had with the advance and the precinct was, I think she said 1989.
Okay.
1,989.
Out of like 10,000 something was registered?
Like 19%.
Yeah.
20%.
Wow, Secretary of State was pretty close, I think he was like on 18%.
He would predict an 18.
It's like, I know Brown County and Donovan County, they're like over in the 30s.
Really?
I think Jeff County is actually somewhat high too. The official numbers on the college today.
For some reason, it seems like when you get, I know Brown County, which they have a couple commission cases that were contested and stuff, but when you get in those counties where they're a little more rural per se, it seems that the percentages seem for some reason to be higher and stuff for the most part.
And also, I know in like Atchison County, the percentage went way up where the commissioner's race was in.
Did you have, what had you still?
Huh?
Was you in primary?
Oh, in township.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
What's that?
I haven't heard those results yet.
Uh,
Well, I hadn't heard, that wasn't on 13 News.
It's on camera anymore.
Well, you know, all morning, I got charged, I was listening to the fair report, how they was interviewing the kids and stuff, you know, stuff, I was looking track, that was really cute, really neat. So,
Yeah.
I got 52, Palmer got 21.
okay. Now you know that.
Got another job, I got
Community service.
There we go.
Yeah. We got honorable mention from National Association of Counties for, participating in,
National Government Day,
National Government Month.
County Government Day it was. And it was National Government Month.
We're the only one in the state that got honorable mention.
That's what we got for having Randall's and talked to.
No, this is what, it was their healthy, it was their National people, healthy county, healthy citizens, healthy counties was the theme, and so we submitted the, Little of Atchison group, what they did for the awards, so we didn't quite win it, but we got an honorable mention.
You guys are gonna have a special meeting or something tomorrow, I think?
2 work sessions, yeah, we're gonna work tomorrow afternoon. And, I'm gonna start funding some, if we get Chase, maybe talk to Chase.
Yeah, he was gone yesterday, but he should be back today. Do we know if we got anything from the treasurers?
Put it in your folder.
Oh, okay, I haven't had a chance to get that. Domestic wastewater. Get some notice from the state about Kansas water pollution control. Issuance of permits and things. It's Huron, city of Huron. Delaware River.
Yeah, it's just a notification,
Yeah.
KDAT.
Yeah, Huron, city of Delaware River via Little Grasshopper Creek. Treated domestic. I didn't even know they had a water treatment plant, did they? Yeah. But it says here in City of Kansas permit, Delaware River via Little Grasshopper Creek, treated domestic wastewater.
They got the big lagoon.
Hoover.
That would be it.
Yeah, they've got a big lagoon now.
Okay, I didn't. Okay. Shelley, do you have something real quick?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I don't hog too much time.
Hey. Go for it.
What's the purchase order? $708.92 to Office Max for office supplies. God.
780.92, right?
I was gonna ask you how much we owe.
I know. Arms are too short.
bet she doesn't have like the last couple of years, so we can compare, just to see what the trend has been, just to see if that's about average, because these are all projections.
You know, I mean, have her get to the last couple of
I would
years.
like to see it, but I mean,
Okay.
I can't tell if this is high, low, or,
And that shouldn't be hard to pull up.
no, she should.
Because actual will be easier to pull up.
That's probably a spreadsheet she's got too, so she could probably just pull it out. At least 3, she could, so like, 12, 11, 10. That at least gives us an idea if that, I don't know if that's high, low, good, bad.
Is this how it's prorated in, that wasn't prorated?
Yeah, that's, so it's all the funds that are divvied, they get a portion of that.
Well, that's how you
Motor
motor
vehicle.
vehicles, there must be a formula or something, because I noticed that on the budget, that was that certain part of the, all the property tax, was vehicle tax, included in it, so, I don't know how that was figured.
You know, I think in motor vehicle, I think you could split it out just about however you want. I don't think it has to be split out necessarily that way. I think it's just,
It's the way it has been.
yeah, I mean, some counties I think will push some of it more into like road and bridge, or, you know, I think you can kind of,
Did you want just that, did you want what they bring in for the driver's license too? Cause they bring money in for the driver's license.
yeah, that's probably not, that's not on
It's
there.
not on here.
Okay, so what they generate for the driver's license
Yeah,
office?
because those would be part of their revenue, that'd be part of their fees.
Yeah, they get money for so many licenses that are done.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's just been divvied up like that forever. I think you can move it around and, you know, so if you want more of your motor vehicle taxes going into like road and bridge, or, I'd use that example, or general, or, you know, whatever you want, you can divvy.
So everybody wants to keep the product.
Well, especially if you got like, if you've got like funds that
Or
are operating like on so much of a mill or by statute, it's quite cleaner to do it the other way, I think.
keep that when she gets up to get copies of just the notification of the permits,
Yeah, it's the main form.
probably announcing the public hearing and all that good stuff.
How many commissioners showing in open? That was the county.
Just so we can hear sign.
Yeah. I think that's just what we need. More stuff open the envelopes.
Not right now.
So total budget, you're requesting just under 3 million, right?
The commodities, that's kind of a set number. The only real way to lower the commodity cost would be to, say, lower the miles of chip and seal we wanna do, something like that. There's a little cushion maybe in there, but that, you know, that's actually basically for our materials, what it's gonna cost us to do our work.
That'd be bridges included in that too?
Some, like bridge planks are in there, culverts, it's broke down on that, added sheet there. It's, salt, asphalt, gas, and all the, road oil. That's the one number that I would say needs to stay fairly close to what it is. The contractual and the capital outlay is the gonna be the two categories, I think, where we're gonna have to decide what we wanna do.
So now, out of those commodities, like, which ones do we put bids out for? Like, do you solicit bids for?
Last year I checked on gas and diesel, and the only person I could get to submit a bid was, Jackson Farmers. The asphalt, right now, we do not, because the closest supplier is, Leavenworth, and,
There's nobody saying,
I might check, this year for St. Joe, Herzog, see what kind of deal we get with them. Salt, we have in the past, I haven't yet this year on salt just because we haven't used any, and we didn't have to buy any this summer. Culverts we usually do, rock we haven't in the past, we've always tried to spread it around. I would be happy to bid rock if that's what the commission wants to do. In years past, we've always tried to, right now, it's basically the same price from the different suppliers, so we just kind of spread it around.
Yeah, I think we have a resolution that we, divide equally between among the quarries and Atchison County.
If we do, I didn't know.
we have a resolution on that?
I think there is. I know that, one of the service boys was up here, several years ago, and, we had cut them out because they, started a new quarry down south down here. That's, forget which one that was.
It'd be probably Charlie.
Charlie, because, it was, kind of a brown rock, you know.
Well, actually, that would've been, that was Gary, who that was.
That was it.
That was before he went to his quarry up north.
Okay. And at that time, there was a resolution, and he had his attorney with us, and showed us the resolutions. Leonard was here and said, yeah, we have to buy them. So that we even had our engineers test it, you remember?
Yeah, I still got the results of that test, because everybody thought the brown rock wasn't as good. And it actually tested, they tested Bromley, maybe it was Charlie, and then, Gary, and actually Gary came in and I know was second best in the rock. Everybody thought it was a real soft rock, but it actually turned out to be pretty good.
Something's wrong with the color.
Yeah,
People
looked like
about
mud.
getting dirt in their garage.
Yeah.
We don't really have a resolution either.
Oh my gosh, there is a resolution.
On what?
We haven't heard anything from Ham either.
Nope. Haven't heard anything.
We might wanna take a look at that resolution. Al Pickman, however long ago that was here. It's resolution number 1053. I think we should take a look at that one.
Well, I hate to get somebody totally out, but if they can all get together and agree that, you know, these are fair price.
Well, it shows that purchase of rock divided equally as practicable among the quarries
Yes, right.
doing business in Atchison County.
What was that number was on that?
1053 resolution. Among the quarries doing business, subject to the quarries offering equal prices and providing necessary loading equipment. No, but, you know, it's also, you also have to keep in mind, you know, it's taxpayers' dollars too, so, you know, I know we had a resolution within 10%, you know, staying within your own county, but we've also got another entrant into.
And I wasn't even aware of that resolution, I've just been, you know, they're all about the same price, I've just been trying to break it up. Actually, right now.
How much difference is it?
It's like 50 cents per ton, I
Are
believe.
they all
run, the chips are actually a little bit higher than that. I think they're 11.
Does it total losses? So every one of it.
Take a look at that resolution. Revising that. Or rescinding. Cause, yeah, I mean, that would be like, the commodity would be like, yeah, a resolution with oil or gas or.
But, oil or gas, you don't have any companies, well, one company in county that buys oil or gas, you know.
We've got a couple of counties, but, you know, it just depends on how he purchases it bulk and what he sends out in bid. Cause we've got surrounding areas too that would, we've got 2 in Atchison County.
We've only, Jackson Farmers is the only company around that will give you a price good for all year. Nobody else will do that. They go by the, price of gas.
You're in bulk hauling, right? You have bulk hauling coming in?
They deliver like 1,000 gallons at a time.
How much can we hold out there?
1,000 gallons.
That's it?
Yeah, we've got 3,000 gallon tanks. We've got a 1,000 gallon gas tank, 1,000 gallon road diesel, and a 1,000 gallon off-road diesel.
How can you fill those up?
It depends what we're doing.
Like during summer?
Sometimes once a week, and sometimes one in there.
Sure, we could figure it out. How come we've never gotten bigger tanks out there? That's,
Jackson, we contracted the first year and then just bring it as we needed.
no farmers that have larger tanks than those.
So it's a matter of how much can he hold, how big is his tank? Because they're usually 2 or 3 compartments.
Yeah.
So I mean, I doubt that you deliver for 1,000, if they're used, unless you brought a tanker truck.
Yeah, I don't know how much you can
And you're probably not set up for that to do it, could they?
For the bigger tank, you mean?
No, you, well, or you set up to get a tanker in there and good.
Actually, an actual tanker couldn't unload at our place because usually they unload into like,
Right, that's what I'm saying,
yeah,
for sure.
they gotta pump up our tanks.
That's the ones that are aerial, those tanks are above.
They're above ground, yeah. I think most of them tankers are just gravity feed.
I think we should still send out bids to surrounding. I think it's not gonna hurt, you know, if they say no, there's no harm in the foul. But
I can do that. Last year I just called everybody, but I can send them
Yeah,
out.
I think we should submit bids, there's several suppliers around the area. Cause I know with, rising volatility in prices, there's a lot of different options you can do, a lot of different suppliers.
But you can always, if there's not that much difference, I mean, you still could go back and keep it equal.
Yeah.
I
usually
want to
do
see a
50%.
significant difference and stuff. So, I'd be still cautious on the outcome of the bid, so. Okay, well, where do we start? Of course, all I got is back, through 2010, and your budget hasn't changed much at all. And I think we all know that there's a few capital improvements that need to be made. The question
Yeah.
is, how many can we do in a year? So, I guess my thinking, I had kind of a goal where we kind of need to be, and it's quite a bit lower than you got, but it is higher than what we've had before.
Well, I turned this in, I knew we could always do things.
Well, that's what we're here to work with.
Right.
And try to be reasonable.
when I turned this in, don't get me wrong, I didn't expect to get the magic number.
Well, that's good stuff.
You've been experienced.
Yeah, I've been here before.
I guess as we prioritize things, I mean, the first thing I think that we do need to include in there is the chip and seal or the River Road project, because we have to use that money, so.
Yep.
I think we have to figure that in, on your contract. The bridge west here, I think we just kind of postpone that.
The bridge?
Yes.
Which one?
The bridge west of here, he had that figured on his contractual. Now about, so about page 4.
The FAS 230, so we're thinking about probably postponing that.
I think so.
Was there a recommendation for that, or what's?
It was a recommendation to build a new bridge. Hasn't been a recommendation to close the bridge yet, but there was a recommendation.
Should we weight limit on it or something?
Yeah, I actually got that right here. It's 5 tons right now, which.
Is there a lot of traffic on that?
There's quite a bit of farm traffic on it. I'm sure that weight limit's being exceeded, but.
Well, that's gonna be their liability, but that
Yeah.
is posted correctly. But we're 2 years ahead on help from the state.
Right.
We're gonna have to.
It says to, schedule the bridge for replacement. It says monitor the continued outlet undermining the extensive concrete deterioration. So it says.
We can schedule for 3 years down the road.
Do you have 3 years of that bridge? At 5 tons, not very, what's the age of it?
I'm not gonna look it up real quick.
Granted, it would be their liability, but, you know, well, so if there is a lot of traffic, I guess we probably ought to.
Well, let's see where we come out of the rest of this, because we've got a lot, there's a lot of dollars here that we've got to work with. Not work with.
According to, 1930. Sufficiency rating on it is 39.9%. Made in 1930. It, the estimated traffic count over today is 56.
How does it stack up against others?
We have some lower, some higher. You know, it's on the lower end of the spectrum.
What have we been replacing them at, sufficiency rating wise?
Well, anything under 50% is eligible, but most ones we've been replacing are in the 30s.
I just have concern about letting bridges get into that bad. It doesn't get cheaper to replace bridges each year, that's what I worry about.
Yeah, my estimated replacement cost is gonna be around, $92,000.
Well, if we didn't have that other bridge that we now have to fix down by Cummings, we'd have some money there.
My estimated cost was around $90,000. I had a local contractor come out and look at it. That's without any engineering. But in the book here, according to Cook Flat, the estimated replacement cost is $200,000. But
That's what I'm concerned about, more than anything is, we can build under our standards.
right.
But by the time we get all the hoop-and-low bureaucratic stuff involved,
Were we replacing that bridge down south with funds from 2012 or 13?
2012.
Okay.
I've got
So that bridge is covered with 2012.
That's coming out of the, special bridge.
Yeah.
I've been trying to put a little money back in that to build that up, and I had money to pay for that.
Do we have anything scheduled for that, for capital outlay purposes? In the special bridge fund? For 2013?
No. Everything that's left in the, special bridge is, FEMA money. Yeah, and that'll be put towards the river road project.
Yeah.
There's around 60,000 in there after I pay for the other bridge.
Oh, yeah. We'll need every bit of that up there.
You're pretty comfortable with the river road project you can do for 170?
Yeah. I think we can get done to that. The only question that has been brought up is, I know Jeff had inquired about the north mile up there. That would be, I'm figuring around another $64,000 to put, a 6-inch base in that. And chip and seal that.
Are we using haydite on that?
Haydite is,
$7,500 more is what I have to
Yep.
do.
Yeah. Yep. We could always do the, we could do the south part and then in, say, 2014 if we decide to go.
Well, my thinking is that, that doesn't cause any problem. It's right there at the bluff that's causing the problem. You get that fixed and it's probably not causing a problem now. When you get on up north, it's not gonna be near the problem, so. So I'm not against going ahead and putting that in for 2014. We'll go ahead and finish it and stuff.
I mean, the extra.
The extra mile and stuff, yeah, and then that's done,
Another thing would be is if we're up there working on stuff and adding, that was the.
yeah, but when you go up there for a mile, you're gonna be up there.
We're going, yeah.
It's not that you're gonna run up there for half a day, I mean, that's.
No, but we're gonna have our stuff all up there.
You got your stuff up
To
there.
finish it out. It's got a pretty good base.
Yeah.
Well, let's work through this and.
Actually, I would rather,
How much is it
to
gonna
be
be?
honest, yeah, I would rather take that 60,000 used for equipment next year instead of.
Well, I won't argue with you per se on that, because we've kicked that can down the road a long time. But, that's what I'm saying, is we gotta spread this out just a little bit, and ease into this thing a little bit, so, we don't shock, too many people, so.
I could probably go with that if we put that in for 2014 project, that remaining bid. I still think we need to put the haydite, that's a high traffic.
I don't have any problem.
High traffic areas get a lot of use.
Actually, I've been down and looked at that we did for the city, and it looks extremely good.
I think it holds up pretty well.
I think-
ADOT's been using it for years.
It does look good. There's a lot more chip retention. It doesn't come off like the chips do. I do like the way that looks.
So when you do two coats, do you just put it down one, let it kind of wear in, then you go back and hit it with another, like a little bit later? Or?
Usually we come right, 2 miles, we'd probably do the 2 miles one day, and then we'll come back the next day and shoot right over top of it. And then, 2014, we'll have to go back and put one more layer.
Okay.
Usually.
Which would probably work okay if we were doing the remaining 2 miles.
Yeah, we'll get there.
That would probably work better, actually.
What's that? Oh.
And for 2014, he's got another layer back on 14. Okay.
See how much other stuff comes up if 2014.
Well,
Looks like fun.
yeah, you never know on a bridge and stuff, and like I said, we're gonna have to, what is our, is it 15 when we were okay? So 14, we're gonna have to go through another bridge inspection. we wanna make sure that you get that, so we're not, how do I say it? Ambushed, because this year we did not have that figured in the budget per se, so
Right.
we wanna make sure that we got some kind of figure in there for bridge inspection for 2014. Well, we pretty much agreed on that, then let's,
So we use 50 or 60 on the few dollars up there?
58.
50, yeah, that's what we've got. I've got a little bit more than that in the special bridge that we can use. I've got right at 60,000 in there. Hager marked all that for revision.
That'd be 165, that's correct.
Yeah, 169. That's without the hay.
No, that's including the haydite and the 60,000. Right, you said 60,000 in that.
You're talking about the North Mile?
No, just what just for the road we have now paved.
Well, is that the total okay, that's without the.
Cause he had two codes at 68,960 plus 6,000 additional for the haydite.
Okay.
So 74,960 plus 150,000, 100 less 60,000 is 165,000 up there. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, how much?
165,000, $60.
Well, on the proposal, we have
169 here.
we have 169 in this proposal.
Yeah, but he said he just told us he had 60,000 in that he was using towards the road, not 50.
If you wanna use that out of.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm just asking. If
But that figure doesn't, that's the total cost, your estimated cost, but you gotta add 7,500, so we're up to about 176,500. And you got 60, so you're a little less than 120 is what we'd have to budget for. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, because the haydite was not figured in that.
Right, exactly, that's what I understood. So the 120 is what we would be dealing with there instead of 169. So you've already got the 60 there. All right, I give you a little more, we're going. All right, let's go to your contractual, your personal, you've got your dozer man, I think you said was retiring,
Yes.
and that he might be willing to come back on half-time.
Yeah, he said that, he would be interested in coming back and working just to run a dozer part-time, just whenever we needed him.
So could we, that position, then figure half-time?
Yeah. Actually, it probably won't be quite, it probably.
Well, that's
won't be
fine, I
that
mean,
much.
if you had it budgeted, that sure cover, you never know. I mean, if the township, needs some work done, too, so.
Right.
We contract out to them, so. Then you have another person you say will retire later this fall.
Yeah, November.
Let me ask you this. You're the manager, can we do without replacing that till May? Till we can start getting ready started?
The grader?
Well, you've already moved that person,
Mm-hmm.
or you're gonna be moving somebody else.
Yeah, I've already got the replacement
Yeah,
for the.
what I'm saying is can we wait, wait till May till we really start get busy?
To hire someone?
That would save you
Yeah.
almost another half-time position.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on that.
Okay.
Who's retiring then?
Harold Delano.
He's a grader. He's an operator. And is an operator considered a grader? That's what they are. Okay. superintendent.
Yeah, you said it?
Well, you put your name fourth on here, is that your seniority or what?
Yeah.
Oh, you got them alphabetically, I see.
Yeah.
Alright. And you do, I think if I remember right, you did bill at 3%?
Yes.
I figured 3%, okay. Did we use any overtime last year?
Yeah, very little, very little.
Is this pretty typical, what you budgeted?
Yeah,
Is
yes.
that even, I mean, how did that compare in like 2009, we had quite a bit of snow, or 10 and 11, I should say. We had a lot of snow.
Yeah. But we did okay. Last year was kind of a different year because we didn't probably do any, that, overtime, that we figured in is pretty much just an average over the last.
No, it's not many meetings, because we understand that's gonna be a.
Yeah.
And the guys get paid the overtime, they get called out, is that that's the way it works on the snow?
Yeah.
Even if they're at 40 hours?
Yes.
Am I right, currently, we have 13 employees for road and bridge, 2 mechanics in the office and 1 supervisor.
Yes, you're correct. We used to have 3 mechanics in the shop, we trimmed down 1 person there.
Well, I thought I remember you telling me that we're actually now almost 2, from the last 3 or 4 years, employees and stuff, so. I guess if you take that approach, by rehiring figuring a half-time position for the dozer guy to come back, and then not hire until, say, May, we could, my projection is we could save about $26,000. So we could actually cut the contractual services down close to like, you say you wanted some guidelines, and that's what, so if that's kind of workable.
We used to, okay, I see what you're saying. Drop the personal services down a little bit and add that,
Well, we can use it somewhere else, or just depends on where we're gonna try to come out, how close we're gonna try to come out to 2.9.
That's strictly salaries, or do you have benefits on there too?
yeah, salaries, yeah.
Drop you down to 84,000. It's part-time and 1 month.
What's that?
That drop you down
Almost
about
1.
484, yeah, 1 and you consider half.
Well, no, he's gonna be hired, 1 position in May, so you're gonna have part-time, you're gonna have if the guy retired, you said he was gonna retire in November,
Yeah.
actually, we only save.
One's going in October and one's going in November.
You'll have a little savings there to carry over, but I think my figures are a little bit off, because if you're not gonna, if you rehire in May, you're only gonna save a third of the salary. Half of the salary and a third of the salary, so it won't be quite a full. So 80-some %. So,
most of our overtime is snow, but there is, windstorms come through and we're out cutting brush and things like that in the middle of the night also. But most of it is
Clear.
every once in a while we'll have a bridge problem, you know, and we'll go in like, we haven't done this for a couple of years, but we have went in on like Saturday and fixed a bridge. A real, you know, if it's an important bridge.
Where will a new hire need come in? At what? Yeah, but what, at what level? What, starting, 13, 12?
It'll be the, it'll be the 1426.
So you're gonna start somebody new with what somebody's already.
Well, it'll be 30 cents less than that for six months.
But that is the starting level. $13.84.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I could.
They come in 30 cents below that for 6 months after they get off their probation, and they get bumped up to 13.84.
So, you do a little more check back, if we get down there close to that 500 on the personal services, that'll save us a little bit there. You follow? Tom, you understand what?
Well, yeah, I don't see how some of these guys, if they got a family, how they make it work. They gotta be working some other jobs or something like that.
Well, about,
It's wages.
if you look out the county shop, about everybody out there has either another job or is I call them hobby farmers, I don't know if that's the right title for that, but
Well, some of us have to have our spouses work full time too.
yes.
So, I mean, that, we're in line. I'm not too concerned about Mexican companies compared to other counties per se, particularly our benefit package is, you know, is pretty good. And,
That's probably about 10,000, we've never put a dollar figure on that, but that's probably about 10,000, 15,000.
I sort of knew the national.
Yeah, that's the good thing about it, that's good benefits.
Yeah, I know, my employees don't make, the greatest wages, but, they are all really hoping that their insurance doesn't get messed up.
And then we've had this conversation with probably every department head, you know, we're at the point, we're trying to get feedback. It seems like right now, everybody's telling us salary is a little bit more important than benefits, but, you know, as far as going through this budget, it's gonna be hard to balance. I mean, I think we can't, you know, something's gonna have to give, like, we aren't gonna be able to do
Same thing on that.
full salary, you know,
Actually, out of the county shop, I think my guys are more worried about insurance than their salary.
There'll be insurance.
Oh, yeah, we're not talking
Well,
about that.
they're worried about
They're gonna have to pay more for it.
right.
Well,
See, that's what everybody out at the county shop is worried, you know, yeah, we figured in a 3% raise, but it might cost us 6% more for our insurance that we can get.
actually, the initial
If they
estimates
don't-
are, yeah, are
If they
lower.
don't use it,
Yeah.
they'll have more money in their pocket. I mean, if, you know, I've always said, like, we don't put a little responsibility on the individual. That's the people that don't use it, are the ones that can come not that you have to example exactly because there's a lot of individual people out there that have to do that. So, I mean, it has to be balanced somewhere, I mean, along the line. So, you know, when you figure, also, I mean, I look at it, I mean, when we look at, we get holidays, paid holidays, I mean, there's, you know, we got 30-some days, right at 30 days built in vacation, sick time, and holidays, so that's, when you figure that's really not too bad. So, I mean, I know that, you know, we'd like to do more. The national average is $16 an hour, is what I heard the other day, on hourly wage. You know, when you consider the East Coast and the West Coast, they're probably in the 20s. So, you know, if we're in the 14, that's maybe not exactly where we want to be, but it's still not too bad, so. We're gonna do what we can.
Yeah, I understand.
We're going to the budget, just assuming we're at the current rates that the state plan has, but, you know, they're working on, probably here, September, October, we'd have some firmer bids on where it's gonna come out. Initially, they're talking like 1% decrease, so really that would be about 5 to 6% less than what the state increase this year, so.
The only thing that bothers me about the state plan is you have to lock yourself in for 3 years.
And you're in a pool of a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are on the state plan that can't get self-insured.
So are we shooting for the 3% raise, or have we gotten that far?
We're taking it into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll be honest, I think it's time we need to do something, but that's why, at the same token, I would like, if you raise the deductible, maybe say, still, I want to have a good health plan, don't get me wrong. But it's going to benefit the people that don't over-abuse the system. They're still going to have more money in their pockets. Because, you know, we contribute pretty good, and they take capers, so I mean, you know, we're adding into that then too. So, they're actually getting pretty good, a little bit better than a 3% raise when it really comes down to it. And, I think we have to look at the savings, maybe in some of the healthcare benefits, but still have a good, I mean, I think about anybody can handle a catastrophic. I mean, you hope there's not very many of those happen in a lifetime per se. But if you've got $1,000, $2,000 deductible, you end up having to pay $3,000 or $4,000 out of your pocket. You can, I mean, people go out and buy cars for a lot more money than that, and they can prorate payments over a long period of time and make that pay. But if you have no insurance and you have a $100,000 bill, that's a different story. So.
And you know, my lifetime so far, I've been real lucky. I haven't had any health issues.
Yeah. So, if you know there's security in there, but look how many dollars. I just look back and say, you know, and the insurance people say, you know, they don't take into account to me. Well, that don't matter. You're at the age now, and you think, well, that's true, but I've paid in these $1,000, and I'm paying for the people that go to the emergency room in the wee hours of the morning, you know, that don't have insurance, and so the accountability is what will help drive that price down more than anything. So
If you look at the employee benefit fund, just track what it's done over the last 4 or 5 years, it's been depleted by about 70% on that balance, so we're about right under 100,000.
Well, employee benefits is the highest middle level we've got. It's higher than the road and bridge.
Yeah, so that tells you the majority of our money has been going into employee benefits, so.
That includes, that means.
Never seen that before, but.
I mean, you know, it's time to get capers, workman's comp, and our contribution to FICA taxes wise, it amounts up. I mean, I just did a little rough figure, but, you know, it's roughly 40% of the South, you know, 40 to 45. It varies a little bit from department to department, but some of the ones I've seen, it's around 40 to 45% the benefits, or 40 to 45% of the South. So we have to chip it over and above that, which includes the health insurance too, don't get me wrong, but it includes all city government agencies manage, their, retirement funds very good. Do we want to get into?
Thankfully, attention, yeah.
We see what the federal government's done with our retirement funds.
So I guess the next big item is our capital outlay.
That's very good.
Well, I think we're gonna have to cut a little on it. I mean, we're gonna have to do it. I'm not sure.
And also, I wanna add that these prices are if we buy something outright, you know, if we would happen to get in the, if we would go with that motor grader, program, you know, we're looking at a fraction of that price to get a grader. It'd just be a certain.
But each year,
Every year.
if we do it every year, then you're gonna continue to add on, so
Right.
at some point in time, we're gonna be,
Yeah.
Where does the road tax well, you may not know. Do you know where the road tax revenue goes? Does it go directly to road and bridge, or where do we have that divvied up as? I've really been curious about that, 'cause I know a lot of counties divert that strictly 100% to road and bridge.
You mean motor vehicle tax?
Yeah, that's the state collects off the fuel.
Well, we get, I don't know where it goes. Might go into, capital outlay.
for road and bridge,
No.
or county general.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm thinking, maybe.
I think it won't affect it too much, but you know, we're talking about consolidating a lot of funds into the general. It's just a lot easier to track, so it could possibly road and bridge will be under general. We could probably even do that this year. We're gonna have to republish the budget anyways, but that's something we'll probably discuss over the next week.
Well, I'm just getting into like the chip and seal. I know in some years past, because I mean, cutting it, you have only done 30 miles,
Right.
40 miles, and I think that's.
This year we made right at 30 miles
Yeah,
also.
I think we ought to be kind of looking at that, knowing some of these other capital outlay projects that we've got. I mean, I know that's a good target, but,
We do 40 miles a year, that gets everything sealed every fourth year.
you know, that's, for the most part, I think you did a good job keeping that. That's why I'm not crazy about adding much more chip and seal, because I realize they say it's supposed to be cheaper, but I cannot see it being cheaper to maintain.
Well, yeah, I'll be real curious to see what oil prices do in the next couple of years and that.
Yeah, and I understand.
I know a lot of counties are starting to go, especially up in Nebraska, they're starting to change a lot of, even the chip seal roads back to gravel up there. So, we'll see in the next couple of years what it is.
Yeah, I talked to a cousin of mine, he's from Bethany, Missouri, and we were meeting the other day, and he said, you know, Missouri got into that years ago, they chipping, they had a lot of paving, and they can't afford to keep them up. They're tearing them up and going back to gravel roads and stuff.
Actually, I'm going to the MEEC conference in Missouri, or in, September, it's up at St. Joe next month, and that was one of their topics is de-paving, so.
And some of, well, you know, and I remember, because I used to, our original family was up that way, we'd go up there, and man, you didn't drive a gravel road, it was all paved. But to be right honest, they're not wide roads, they're wasn't much to shoulder, I mean, you had to be alert. But, I wondered how can they afford to keep those kind of things up? And I'm wondering probably with the bigger farming equipment, they gotta be playing havoc with some of that stuff.
Yeah, I've got a neat chart back at the shop that shows, how many passes some of that equipment it takes to fail a road, and some of it is down like to 5 or 6 passes.
Well, that's your base. I think your base determines your, so if we have a lot of roads that don't have.
But I mean, just
adequate
with what we've got now.
I probably think you go back to more gravel roads, there may be a new tire shop started up in there, because there'll be more tires to fix. That or else Armstrong's, the co-op, and Dillon's gonna there could chip in a little more money and pave the roads so they can more.
I think it'd be a hard pitch personally, just talking with citizens, when we were out looking at that bridge, they were asking about paving it.
90% of them want.
Well, I'm not saying, yeah, we don't, I think the roads.
They just paved through that.
I think the roads that they've selected to pave are good, I mean, they're pretty well traveled, and when you look at the grids, I mean, as far as how far, if somebody just has to drive on a blacktop road, why, I sometimes drive a mile out of my way, if they're coming down, I just go over, I have to go around and scoot it. I have to, it's 2 miles extra, but, when you're driving a car that's got a 6-ply or 4-ply tire on it, why, that extra 2 miles is nothing. And,
So, what are you thinking on the capital outlay?
what do you think?
Well,
Well, I think you got to prioritize, I mean,
me personally, I really think that the greater buyback program would be a good program to get into.
is it 5? Is it 5 years?
You go to 10 years. You go from up to 10, which, if we went 10 years, I think that would fit our county pretty good, because we have 5 graders, and that would be putting you in every other year.
It's pretty close to what you're looking at.
It's basically going to be the same price as what we're paying now for graders.
Yeah.
After you get your buyback.
Yeah, as long as they stick with their buyback.
What's the difference, he was gonna work those up, wasn't he?
He said he was, I haven't heard anything from him.
He was gonna work like 5, 7, and 10, or
I'll get with him on that.
Does it just decrease the buyback, is that all it does, it doesn't lower the overall costs?
Yeah, it just decreases the buyback. Well, yeah. Of course, your payment will be more, if you're going 5 and 10, but. Well, it just depends how long you finance.
Depends what your overall cost
Yeah.
is too, if your payment is necessarily lower over 10, you're paying more in interest over time than 5.
But,
I think it sounds like a good program, I mean, it's a motor equipment
it's worth
replacement
looking
fund.
at, I mean, we can
Yeah.
start into it and.
That's what everybody around us is doing. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's right or wrong, but that seems to be the trend.
Well, I think it spreads, that kind of, to me, fits into a little better capital outlay plan for the county, and that you're not, you don't kick the can down the road too long, and then all of a sudden, well, now we need a grader, we need a truck and stuff. You've got this prorated out a little bit over a long period of time, and, you get the maintenance, you get the, but if you go to 10-year program, you probably don't, do they cover maintenance for 10 years?
They will, I'm sure you gotta pay.
It's about like buying, getting a car with a 3-year warranty or 5-year warranty, and then you can buy some more.
It's gonna be the same.
Is that just CAD, did you talk with like?
Deere will do the same thing, but they'll only go out to, 5 years, I believe.
What's the cost, did you ever?
They are very secretive on their.
We should probably have one other bid just to give us a comparative. I'm not saying that CAD.
They'll bid it, but they won't tell me, what it is, they'll bid it though.
So do we have to like submit like an RFP to them?
I guess, I can talk to other counties, I could probably find out about what the.
I think we probably should at least have an idea, just to make sure.
Yeah.
Cause I know in a lot of the other counties, they look at both, they look at John Deere and they look at Caterpillar.
I know Jefferson County just bought one this year, so.
You buy 2?
I'm not sure, I know they at least bought one, and, I could probably talk to Babe down there and see.
Do you feel pretty comfortable, miles gravel road with 5 graders is easy to efficient, isn't it?
Yeah. I've actually thought about trying to go with 4, but I think we're good at 5. I've thought about trying to spread the routes out and go 4 graders, but you get in a big pinch, especially with big snow or something like that, it'd take a lot longer.
Well, if one happens to go down.
That'd be another thing. If one go down, you're stuck with 3 graders, you'd be.
But to me, that's where we need to keep the relationships open with townships in case we need, I think maybe we need to be talking to them because you got so much, I mean, you get put on a schedule, basically.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not opposed to looking at it, don't get me wrong, but should we look at it and ease into it in terms of, let's try it one time to see how this works? And if it works good, then start letting the township, and I want the township people to come to me rather than me deciding that, because something about that local control of that, you know.
I just been hearing, because I was running for the trustee, you know, a lot of people came up to me and wanted to pick my brain about that. So.
Well, you know, here again, there's counties that have done it. I think you can go talk to them. I'm sure you're gonna hear pros and cons. You know, how many, we gotta look at how many roads or, you know, how many miles of roads do we have compared to other counties and how's it working, you know, this and that. And, so, you know, I mean, theoretically, it almost looks like, well, yeah, we could, but,
You're gonna have pros and cons.
No matter what system.
As far as the
Yeah.
standpoint,
There might be.
We gotta figure out what's best for Atchison County.
Exactly.
We should, that might be a good project for Chase, we've got until November, it might be a good project for him to take a look into.
like I said, I know there's a lot of other things going on right now, so I didn't, you know, I don't mean to.
No, you
Throw another
get
thing
into
in there.
a study's not gonna cost us
But
anything.
when you're capital outlay, you're going 10,000, you budgeted 10,000 less than you had last year.
On capital outlay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to have the one breakdown and you're gonna be short $10,000.
Yeah, but capital outlay, that's new equipment's what he's wanting.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, I know, but, you're still gonna have to replace something.
Yeah, well, 2012 I put in for 430,000, and this year I put in for 420, but I didn't get anything, so.
What do we have in the capital outlay right now, what's it on?
In special,
And why do we have a separate special equipment? Why wouldn't we have just a capital outlay for road and bridge? Is there a reason why we had that special equipment?
There's actually a capital outlay fund.
Yeah.
I mean, it's zeroed out.
I was curious, like how it, the capital outlay would be capital outlay, that's essentially what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's probably something we should probably consolidate in capital outlay.
What's that?
That special equipment fund, that's essentially what it is.
I really don't know where that came from.
Been like that for years.
Maybe there's a program at some time that has.
Was that the ones in the back of the book?
Yeah, it might be towards the back, it's just it's a separate fund. It's essentially like a capital outlay, because that's all we've ever used it for.
Is that with
What we use it for, the special machinery, if, you know, we get any extra money, we throw it in there sometimes. If we like sell a piece of old equipment, we'll put that in the special equipment is where we'll put that money.
Yeah, it's essentially like a capital outlay fund.
That's what we use it for.
You get used to road and bridge.
That's
Road
true,
and bridge.
everything that, state legislature put in years ago, to use our surplus money.
It's how they're telling you, okay, that you had to put it in that fund, is what you're saying. Okay.
That might.
We should check on that, yeah.
Because I know, a lot of times in years past when we had a surplus, they would roll that over into that.
But if you have a capital outlay fund set up, why wouldn't you just roll it into that? I guess that's essentially what it is.
And maybe what Tom's saying may have something to do with statutory, I mean, that's what gets me, the state has better answers than us, and we
But all the other
tell
equipment
us
we
what to
sell,
do with our money.
all the other equipment we sell, we goes right back into capital outlay right now.
Yeah.
We can ask, that'd be a question for Melanie.
That was a kind of a fence to keep counties from spending that money, excess money on pet projects. And true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We can ask Melanie.
No, I think we're all talking the same thing, that
Yeah.
it's gonna be put into a, you know, it's not gonna be, we got money left over the road and bridge, so we're gonna send it over to the clerk's office or something like that, so, you know. But I can't find it. Is this it?
I can tell you right now, in special machinery, there's almost 25,000, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, right there. That's it.
It doesn't label it for brick, it just called special sheet.
Yeah.
So truck, dump truck, you have 150, is that bidding out that too, is that?
Yeah, I would have to-
Generally, that's what you're expecting.
Yeah.
No matter what you get.
I think, yeah, when I was after Riley County here 2 months ago, that's it's probably a bigger truck than we, they had a pretty big truck there, Kentwood, and it was, they said you could fit 150, maybe a little less. I mean, that's 3 months ago.
Yeah, I just called a couple of companies and just got real rough, you know.
So which one of them good trucks you gonna get rid of? The one
Uh,
that goes? Is there anything, they'll have some kind of value, won't they?
A little bit. I don't know if you remember when we had the red truck out there, the frame was rusted, and we've taken that out of service. That really needs to be sold because it's just sitting there, and we've already taken all the good tires off of
One
it.
of them had a crack in a little bit? Is that the one?
That's the little boy trailer. Well, the red truck, yeah, it's got a crack in the frame. It's just all, the rust is just eating the frame up on it. That one and the white and black cab truck out there. I don't know if you remember or not, but those are the two that just.
What's the light one, is it Ford, is that the Ford?
Yes, Ford.
Of course, that's.
Red one's Ford also.
They don't make, that's the one they don't make parts for anymore.
Sterling.
Yeah, but I thought that
Well, yeah, they don't make, yeah, just because it's so old.
there are parts out there, but the guy's got a
You can find
monopoly,
them.
I mean, it's on the market, so.
Yeah.
Does the state have a contract on that?
On trucks?
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
Okay. Just check in to see what wonder what that one is, wonder who they got that contract with.
Special surplus, have anything?
Well, I'm not talking about federal surplus, I'm talking about just like the actual contract.
I'll have to look into it. I haven't gotten that far on it.
And then your pickup's also listed down as, it needs to be replaced, or you got issues with it, or?
Look, still goes down the road, not bad. It's got 153,000 on it. Starting to rust out bad, but
What do you think the value of it is offhand?
you know, I'm not sure. I'm gonna say between 6 and 8, somewhere in there. I don't know.
What year is that?
So,
Since 04.
Just,
yeah, I quote on the closer to 6.
And those other 2 dump trucks, just out of what we've got out of the ones in the past, you're only gonna get 4,000 or 5,000 out of them, probably.
The boxes aren't even good on them.
Yeah, they're
What are the 15 ton, how big boxes do you buy from?
those are probably I think they're probably 14 footers.
How many ton do you haul?
We usually haul around 16 of those.
Do you know what pieces of equipment we have lean on for the
The 2
elevators?
Sterlings,
Okay.
the 2 newest dump trucks we have.
Okay. I think there was another piece of equipment.
I don't think we ever put that on there. They've come out and looked at it, but I don't think they.
I thought the percentage there's 3 pieces of equipment on that.
They came out and looked at the 2 Sterlings and The only other thing they looked at was the, boom truck, but
I thought there were 3 pieces of equipment on.
maybe they did put
Probably
it
check
on. I wasn't thinking they did, but.
So is that for the, you know, put the other 2 trucks on?
Yeah, I can swap them out.
Change the VIN numbers real quick.
Come on, back.
And that camera on.
You're smart.
Well, I think.
I'm not gonna push my pickup truck,
Well, let me ask you this, can we start putting a little budget in there and then, build up a little so that then maybe next year we have a little ready to start, you know what I'm saying, is something like that fair to consider?
are you talking about, like leftover money, or?
Well,
No.
Or
just
just-
make sure, maybe ear tags, say $10,000 for capital outlay for pickup, and then next year we'll tackle, because if we get a couple of these big items, if you have to get a couple of them out of the way, it frees up then next year's maybe budget a little more for.
On that grader, what's the importance of replacing that? It seemed like you had your dump trucks were pretty critical, you had a trailer, and you had, I know your chip spreaders pretty much.
I didn't even, you know.
Is
I didn't know where-
the grader as critical that we have to?
It's one of those things, the grader's, it's 16 years old, it's got over 10,000 hours on it. The thing is still running and it's grading. It could blow up tomorrow, I don't know.
And then we'd have like 4.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's
And the other
in
4
its life.
Are the other 4 as old as that one?
No, that's the oldest one I have, is 16.
So what's the next newest? Is it like
I would have to
10 years
look.
old?
I thought,
We got 2 of them.
We pretty much go in rotation, so it's probably going to be 13, 14 years old.
yeah, you gave that to us one time, but I was trying to think.
Yeah.
I thought you had one, maybe a 98.
Yeah.
It's no use, dump truck.
This was a 96, and I think.
Yeah, the other one, the galleon is a 98.
Yeah.
That would be the.
And I think you jumped up to like a 2000, 2001, I mean, it wasn't exactly every 2 years, but the idea of every 2 years replacing a grader fit into basically would start kicking those off.
Yeah, the galleon is a 98.
But, yeah, you know, we're stretching, I mean, running 15 or better years on a grader.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Not even a poor township would probably buy one like that, so.
No. Usually it goes, when we sell those graders, it usually goes to a small construction company or maybe a farmer, with grader, creates driveways or something like that.
So they usually sell it privately, I mean.
Purple Wave is,
Purple Wave.
yeah. I would say, the grader is pretty critical, and the dump truck, we need the dump truck bad.
I know the dump trucks, obviously.
And the dump trucks, I don't know if, how we wanna do that, if we wanna buy one outright or finance one. There again, if you go to financing, you could lower that number and stretch it out over. But then, you know, you can stretch it out, lower number, but I'm gonna be up there next year asking for something else.
Yeah, we just need to get into an actual rotation of
Yes.
real use of capital outlay. So like, you know, all these years where we have not budgeted, you know, set aside money for capital outlay, we need to really, motor equipment replacement fund, I mean, I can't stress that much, you know. We've got departments all over the place that have equipment that needs to be replaced.
Yeah, but there's a lot of vehicles, I know that they're getting up, I mean, poor old Joe, I mean, when he shows them, he's got pickups, you know, they don't get much out, you know, too far away with them, but, you know,
And that's what with my truck, you know, it's getting quite a bit of rust in it, and it's got 153,000 on it. It's one of the things I don't know what it's gonna do.
well, between now and Monday, could you, if we plug in somewhere around 500 for your personal services, and the contractual at 120, if you want to pencil this in, that's.
What was that on?
Well,
Personal service.
basically, River Road
Uh,
is what I figure. I think we still need to relook at commodities a little bit. But if you can get us a little more concrete figures on your grader, what the programs are, maybe even get a pretty good idea, if particularly if the state has it, a bid, get an idea of what the dump truck is gonna cost. And then I guess I'm with the idea of starting a pickup fund for next year.
Yeah, I agree on the commodities, we need to get stuff bid out on that, we need to get some more.
yeah, that's no problem.
Okay,
Well, I would like to get down close to what your estimate last year was 1.5, and that would be my goal, try to get down close to 1.5 on the commodities, if we can.
Yeah, well, there again, we don't know what, oil price is gonna be next year.
Well, I know that, but I mean, it may end up that we may just have to
we can lock that.
ration our rock a little bit.
We can lock that pricing, can't we?
We can, but not until, like say, May of next year.
And who's that, is that
Vance Brothers, who got this year.
Vance Brothers won't?
They won't go that far out.
Everybody
Everybody bids their oil in,
6 month segments, about or not?
yeah.
So they must not be hedging.
Well, I'm not sure Jackson Farms will even bid more than 6 months out. I mean, like when we pre-book, a lot of times, you buy and they have their January end year blitzes.
Right.
You buy, and you have to have it used up by June. I mean, they basically.
See, and they're letting us go full year.
The whole year.
Yeah.
Well, your volume.
Yeah,
You
that's a
got
lot of
the
fuel.
volume.
Well, it's, I don't know how much you guys use, but in diesel, 55,000 gallons. Probably fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to use that much, but it seems like.
Seems like when you're writing.
Yeah, I'm surprised the tanks aren't any bigger than that, I just really thought you had a lot more tanks.
Yeah, they just bring it and
If they're willing to do it, I'm not too worried about that, because a 2,000 gallon tank, they're fair. I mean, they're starting expensive, but I mean, you could get $3,000-4,000 wrapped up in one of those. So then you'd have to.
yeah, they've got to be double.
The only thing is the bulk price, bulk talks, there's.
Well, the bulk, I mean, they're already giving us a problem, whether you deliver 500 or 1,000, so that's, if it's a matter of somebody saying, well, yeah, we'll cut it 15% if you put in a 2,000 gallon tank, then we can talk. But that ain't, I mean, there has to be a pretty significant savings in order to pay for the tank first. It stays fresher that way.
There you go.
I don't know if he's going through once a week, that's.
And it just
Not
depends what
going
we're
to
doing, if we're hauling asphalt from Leavenworth, yeah, he's filling it up. But, road diesel tank, maybe even more than once a week, just depends on what's going on.
And I know this might be petty, but, is there any justification of us fix the road tires?
Buy a tire machine, do it ourselves? I don't know.
I have no idea what they are, but I mean, it takes time to get.
Right now, we are so limited on our space out there in the shop that, I think that if we ever do build a shop, I think we could seriously look at that. But right now.
Making that transition now is, but
We're
I just.
No, I'm not taking sense or
You
anything.
could bid that out too. I know counties that are bidding that out too, those services.
All right.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you gotta look at where they're located. You got one in the western part of the county, you got one in the center, and you got one in the east, so by the time you drove, say Armstrong, and they're good friends of mine, but if you drive clear out there.
And that's kind of the way we work it out, we're out, it's way the flats are out there, we'll just take it to Armstrong for an area.
I see them out there every day, so yeah, because I was out there working in that area, and I see them have flats, and that's the only downside of being something like that, is that's.
They usually have trucks that does it, they service on site.
Dillon is the only on service for tractors, bakers.
Yeah.
Big back bakers. They do. The Armstrongs quit, they don't run service truck and go up and run.
What's Dillon is this?
Dillon
Bakers.
Bakers.
That's it.
Okay, so you want me to,
Get a little closer figure on, well, check your grader programs out.
okay,
And see if you can get a little closer on a dump truck that's not a Sterling or a Ford.
well, yeah. You know, I'd really like to try I've heard good things about the Max nowadays, but I don't know.
What kind of engine do they have?
It's a Max engine, I believe is what they're running. But, well, I'll tell you all day long, the best truck we have out there on our lot right now is that Kenworth. We have almost zero problems with that, and it just goes up and down the road and don't have to worry about it.
The thing about that is, I think there's a lot of them on the road that standpoint, yeah, you'd like to have, but same way your graders, you got what, 3 different kinds, you got 5 graders and 3 of them are 3 different kinds. If you keep, if you got one that you kinda like, you keep all the same, well, then you're only dealing with one service.
And basically, all I'll tell you is the reason we got Volvo is that was low bid, you know, not because we necessarily like them better, it's, that was low bid.
Well, if you look, maybe, it may be, you don't know whether it's Kenworth or who they're bidding, so.
They've, International's had, I believe, for last several years, too, and getting, that's what they've got now is International.
Well, just get, 2 or 3 varieties, see what we.
You say you want that by hopefully Monday?
Yeah, see what you come up with and stuff, but, hopefully we give you a few kind of guidelines that we work with. We're trying to work with you on some of this capital outlay.
Yeah, and, I put a grader and, that dump truck in there, and, I was hoping to do something with the excavator.
I have a question on that too.
Okay.
How many hours do we use that a year?
Quite a few. I don't know right off the top of my head. I would have to do some figuring on that. You're out there, you're using it right now, actually. But seems like every year we use it more. We used to use backhoes a lot. Anymore, it's just easier to use an excavator because you can swing the 360 degrees. And we use it a lot now.
So we're cleaning ditches now or what?
Yeah, we'll use it right now today. Yeah.
What, I know like, you think you're gonna use it to work on the bridge, and that comes, when you say something about humanity.
Yeah, we're using it out there, right now we're working, putting in the 2 big culverts, over on, I can't think over, a little bit.
Yeah, of course, you said you didn't know how many hours that had on it, it was 85, so we know it's got the years on that too, so. I guess my thing, I was wondering is do we, get a crisis situation, we're just gonna have to hire, if we have to have one, we may have to hire somebody. What's the new one, I think about 260,000.
That one right, it was right, it's comparable.
Similar, okay.
Yeah.
Using 2012 or 13 budget for that.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I know, but what were you planning
I was
on?
hoping to save enough money this year
For 2012?
for the buyout in 2012, but I don't think it's.
Even with the bridge?
But,
Even with the bridge replacement down south?
well, the bridge, that's coming out of,
The special
Special
bridge?
bridge road.
Okay.
so it's not. And I took, that's one reason, last year, can't find it now, in the budget, I had a new chip spreader in there, and I took it out just because it is old and it needs to be replaced, but, we use it for a long month a year. So, I guess until that thing kicks the bucket, we'll just, you know, keep trying to get by with it.
That thing is pretty antiquated, I will say that.
Yeah, it's like a 1973 or.
Don't you max it out quite a bit on?
Oh, yeah. We actually, when we go up hills, we have to push it with the truck.
How much does one of those cost to replace?
Those, new, around $200,000.
But can you cover quite a bit more with that, or?
No, you know, you're still limited to how much your disturber truck can put down, and it's, it's old also, it holds 1,500 gallons. So, if you had a bigger distributor truck and all the equipment, you could do more in a day, but, you'd have to have a chip spreader, the distributor truck, and, you'd have to, you know, your truck would have to be able to get rocked to the chip spreader. Disturbed truck, that's a whole more issue there, might be on next year's, but.
Well, this is what I mean, stuff that gets cheaper, I mean, we have to kind of weigh out, get this thing prorated, and whatever, but.
And that's what I've always said since I took on this position, we've got close to 20 pieces of equipment that would at least cost $100,000 to replace. If we do one a year, you're looking at a 20-year cycle, so. And that's even just 1 year, so.
Well, I think it's always the mindset that if you don't replace it now, you're saving that money, but in the long run, you're end up paying about triple the cost when you go to replace it. That's what's hard about it.
Well, if you have something, you don't have much to trade in,
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got no useful life or value.
I mean, like, what does your, the big value, the excavator, what, is there any value in it? Could it have?
Very little,
Would it
probably.
have 20?
Huh?
Would it have $20,000?
If we had a real good day, possibly, I was gonna say probably closer to 15. I'd like to get 20 out of it, but I was gonna say 15.
And you'd have to sell that on verbal, whatever?
They don't even wanna take it on trade in.
Well,
And that's the same thing with the grid, the salesman told me straight out that we would get more out of it if we sold on verbal.
well, that's the problem, you get stuff too old, there is no trading.
Yeah, because that's what they said they were gonna do with it was.
Business was not verbal, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we might as well get
Well, yeah.
what they're gonna try to get, because they're gonna have their rear ends covered,
Yeah.
so, of course. So you probably would, you truly use that more than 100 hours
Oh, yeah.
a year.
That's good. Yeah. We use, like I said, we use it more and more. It's just so much faster to dig a hole with it than a backhoe. Where a backhoe you can only swing 180, 90 degrees each way. That excavator, it's just so much faster to use it.
Do they have leasing on them? Do they have
just to see how much a new machine is. And, you know, we might be better off, getting a new machine with a, you know, maintenance program or whatever on it. But
I don't think it's out of line to consider and look at, and, because if you buy it over a 10-year period and stuff, you know, it spreads it out, and that, it serves the same purpose, whether we put a levy in there for capital outlay, and just put so much money in, we have that piece of equipment locked in, and it's gonna be in the budget, you know, for 10 years and stuff, so it serves the same purpose, I mean, because you're talking about a 27-year-old piece of equipment.
actually, we blew a hydraulic line on it yesterday.
On the transmission or something up there.
Right. And we got lucky that hydraulic pump was in the field, wasn't a lot bigger.
Well, bring us a few other figures on Monday.
Just bid for first thing Monday morning. So,
We're gonna canvass the votes at 9:30. I'd say probably come by 10. Did we put somebody else at 10 o'clock? Seemed like we had somebody else.
Yeah.
oh, you put one on the 22nd, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other day, I thought she said. So we scheduled somebody for Monday at 10 o'clock.
Schedule, yeah. But we're gonna do
Tell Kim that we just go ahead and schedule, we can discuss it. Bring your solid waste in when you come Monday.
Got it.
So we'll talk about that budget.
All right.
After you back at 10.
Yeah, I'll just come in after the council foot.
10 o'clock.
John, do you have something for us? No.
No, sir.
Do we have a schedule for you guys? I didn't see anything on the agenda.
No, we were just in the neighborhoods, we stopped by.
Oh, okay.
Did you bring the donuts?
We were just gonna see if you feel any questions or if you had anything,
Where are you guys at as far as the process?
Well, because we just talked, Pat was here, and I told him I forgot to follow up, because Luke, you sent me a email. Was there somewhere we needed to update or approve or whatever?
Yeah, so revised certification.
Revised certificate, so in other words, we just need to sign that? Okay, so we just need to have Pat make sure it's that open.
And I have a hard copy if you'd like that, I can leave it with you.
Well, it might be all right, you know. Then we'll have Pat look that over, so everything else is proceeding.
We were just meeting with some landowners, and we're in the area, so we wanted to stop by.
We've already signed off on this, is that
This
right?
is a revised.
Revised.
It basically provides clarity, more clarity. Why don't you explain what? Basically, KDHE wanted it to be, provide more clarity.
You gotta apply for, there's 3 different permits that we're
Okay.
applying for, and instead of having you sign off on 3 different permit forms, we'll just have you sign off on one. It's a generic one that we use for all 3, you know, for the recycling part, since we'll be processing, so.
KDHE wants to see that if you're gonna recycle material,
Sure.
they call that processing, so they wanna have a processing certification. And if you want a C&D material, you gotta have the C&D certification. And rather than submitting 3 different applications and requests for permit, they said if you wanna take a global approach, you need to revise your county certification sheet, so you can use one certification for all 3 of the activities. So.
Why don't they do that, just for everybody then? That's 4 different departments. dealt with KDHE, I know. They've actually downsized.
Yeah.
They're downsized.
And now still the plan is still you're primarily gonna do the C&D and recycling of a lot of that, is that
So
still?
we'll have like we talked, we'll have the C&D, the processing, the, industrial,
Yeah.
which was, I mentioned, slag, flash, stuff like that, the transfer of products incoming, outgoing, and those are the three.
No asphalt anything?
We're still looking from counting on that. I don't wanna make any promises, but anyway.
And, Pat's seen those?
That is the exact same certification that you guys.
W10T or.
Is that what you emailed me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Copy.
So Pat's, so do we have him reviews before we?
Just make sure we're using them and sign it Monday.
Okay. He wants to come up, tomorrow for about 20 minutes for an executive session before we start our budget hearing, so that'll probably be,
We can do it.
he'll be here, so I said we could probably address this tomorrow.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Anyway,
That'll work.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You want us to?
we just
Mail
dropped
this
it
back,
yeah.
and then mail, or you need this physical hard copy back.
Yeah, they want the original with our application.
Okay. Okay.
If you publicize it, budget meetings and whatnot.
Yeah, we gave notice on Monday. We are having an executive session for 20 minutes prior to 4 o'clock budget workshop. Should be on the calendar. Yeah, it's on the website.
Who were those guys?
They're with, Bettis Asphalt.
Well,
Infill.
Infill Recycling and Disposal LLC.
Can I just get a copy of that?
Yeah, why don't, will you see Pat today, or do you know?
Not usually, because his kids usually come in and get his mail. But we can put something in his box if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean, it's just taking a
What's
really.
that? Why don't you take that physical copy and put it in his box?
Okay,
Just have him review it.
okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe we could do the, local joint communications.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that may not take quite as long. You don't have a copy of the communications budget with the duties? No.
Want me to go grab one real fast?
Why don't you, I just have a couple questions about this. I think it would be simpler than your sheriff, I can't read very good, somehow the color didn't come through.
Who usually hires like bailiffs, like, is that the court systems that typically have the bailiffs? Well, why doesn't the court systems have a bailiff hired over there, if that's a concern?
Judges figured they didn't need one.
but they want security. They want courthouse security, why don't they hire a bailiff?
I think that just use bailiff when court confession.
I don't think we have a bailiff, though. So,
They
they want a bailiff.
eliminated it, as far as I know, they eliminated that position. Scott was bailiff years ago, when they eliminated him, and Nancy Keith kinda did that part-time. When she worked there, her position was eliminated.
I don't have anything for communication.
There's two. There's one that they drew out, and then there's the regular one. $441,685 is the amount they requested.
What was it, 441?
$441,685, that's a 6% increase.
I just had a couple questions, clarification, there's a couple things I didn't have. I'm assuming on page 3, that in the yellow, that's what the 911 funds will cover?
Yes.
Everybody, I mean, that's, when I started adding that, that's when it appeared that was,
Yeah.
okay, all right. You're estimating the health insurance to go up 20%.
Which expenses?
Front page, you had, when you plugged in the health insurance cost, you plugged in 120, it was 97.7 last year.
You have 2 minutes to digest, I think. I had it coded originally what went up, but I think, if I remember right, the employee benefit reimbursement. There wasn't really a whole lot that went up. Oh, here, let me see.
Yeah, it shows a 9% increase.
That would be 20%.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about like the overall personnel services.
Right, well,
Sorry.
that's the other question.
Yeah.
If I recall right, the only thing really significant that jumped would go to change the percentage increase would be that employee,
Well, yeah,
and then the raises.
we're figuring, but the, my calculations, and it's not major, but it showed that, there's about $2,500 dip based on even a 3% increase in $2,500, which would be a little less than 2% variation in what the wage package would be.
Yeah.
Versus, and I guess I didn't look that close, but where was that? Was there some variation in, was you upping somebody to catch up, or?
141 so.
I guess at the bottom there, at this job, this was the first page, but when you figured, 2012 estimate, you take 3% of that and add it, I come up with 287.7. And you had 290, not a major deal, $2,500, just didn't wanna get into a situation that somebody got 5% raise and somebody got 3.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not, $2,500 isn't a concern, just to make sure that
No, that's just figuring everybody with what I discussed with you before we did put in the 3%. Nobody get any more than that.
but it come out higher.
You get that?
But, yeah, okay, so, I'm still confused, because it's showing 23% increase on health insurance. And 9% on overall personnel services.
Well, yeah, but that's got your health benefits figured in, and when you go up 27% on health, that's gonna jump the personal service.
Sure.
Go down to the bottom part there and figure your gross wages compared to 2012. That's what I'm figuring right now.
Oh, yeah. It was the health insurance, and that's what we did, we took, if I remember right, we did the last 12 months history on health insurance, and that's where the difference, where did I say it was at first?
Was that the one that you pointed out that you thought you had short of it? There was something you come in there and told us that
That was
you
in,
thought that you was.
that was in mine, KP&F reimbursement, that was on the law enforcement.
Oh, okay.
On this side, looking at this now, it looks like the health insurance, what we've been reimbursing, because Joint Communications does reimburse the employee benefit fund for their health insurance out of the sales tax, I believe.
Well, that's how Joint Communications is funded, is
Right.
with sales tax.
Right,
So,
so it's reimbursed an employee, and it was more than what.
Well, that's what I was wondering, I was trying to think in our conversation that was a concern that you didn't think that you would.
Yeah, it was health insurance on the Joint Communication side, but on my side, it was the KP&F reimbursement.
The only big question I have is still the Hebron Associates. You know, we are looking at possibly expanding our IT department and hiring an additional IT person. I think there'd probably be some savings if we use somebody that we have in-house doing some of that stuff. That's the only thing that
I did, and I haven't brought it up yet, but I did, because I expected that question to come up, but I got a list of, and as I stated to you before, I don't have a problem if we get somebody in-house that's capable of handling, which saves money, that's a smart thing to do. But what I wanted to do was get a list of all of the software and hardware people that do the work down there now, and I had them all send in a bio of what they did, what certifications they had and everything, and I got that downstairs somewhere on my desk, so I'll bring that up to you, and you guys can kind of, like I said, I know right now that it comes down to money, but it's pretty, we just don't have anybody right now. That's not saying we couldn't find somebody and hire somebody to go save money, but we need to know what certifications and all the work they do down there on the machines, and I already had them. I had Kim get that from everybody that comes up here and works.
well, I just know that, I mean, they're charging us driving from Jefferson City here, it's not cheap.
Money.
I mean, it's, you know, we need to start sharing services across departments if we can, save some money. What about the, Joint Communications Board? I heard there's a Joint Communications Board that rarely meets. Who's on that board, and
It really went by the wayside.
decided, the three big players in it would be the board members. Whether that's a good way to do it or not, but that's the way it's set up.
Quite honestly, I mean, it's been working good, but the bottom line is something big needs to be discussed. It's usually Mike and I get together. I mean, we could expand it, but I guess I don't see, I mean, I would like to see Mike input, but I don't think they would tell you there had many issues, so. Doesn't mean we can't expand or create a board, but we went away from having a big board, you know, kind of at that time.
Now we're making a big change EMS system, and emergency management's taking a big step up too, and they're pretty big players. And they're the people that are in the thick of stuff too, so.
On your, personnel there, page, is there someone that I'm missing? I see you got 2 full-time positions budgeted, but not filled, but my figures still come up $13,000 short of what you had plugged in there, even with the 3% raise. Is there something in there that I'm missing? What I'm saying is I went and added up all those wages, even including those 2 full-time positions, and I come up with about $277,000. And that was figured with the 3% raise.
You're coming up more or short?
I'm coming up less.
Less.
What I'm saying is there,
Well,
I guess, is there intentions of filling those full-time positions, I assume, because I know.
They're already filled.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not questioning, because I knew you've been talking about need to do it. What I'm saying is when I add all those up, I come up with about 277.5. And you have 290.
So we got 9 dispatchers now?
10 counting.
Counting.
10 counting Kim, and then there's part-time.
How do they rotate their schedule? Are they have like a certain rotation schedule, or?
Yeah.
And they're pretty much all on set shifts.
Would the difference have anything to do with,
Well-
is there overtime? You don't have anything listed there, but is there some overtime that needs to be figured in there or something?
So what'd you come up with?
I come up with 277,468.
For
Yes, sir.
wages?
If you add all these up,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're mixing a page, because usually there is a,
well, you got John Shepherd as a part-time,
yeah.
and that's 12.
And that covers up a lot, but like on my law enforcement, I think I cover, let me see here. Yeah, I don't know what you're showing off, but in here, we're showing overtime, on this one. It's got the yellow on it. There's an overtime cost in there of $9,700. But it's not on the sheet you just looked at.
How much?
$9,711.54.
For 97. Okay. Now that.
Oh, and then if you also look on there, 3,000 on mine, it's not in there either, not on this one. So that's 12,000.
I apparently don't have that paid, but now you are getting to, I gotta see there, okay. Yeah, you broke two
You don't
different
have
deals.
I don't have any.
He gives us two different deals, I just stapled them together. This has a breakdown of the different personal services contracts, and this here. This is the budget that you see for that. Do they ever show like water 911 fund taxes generated? Does that come in directly to joint communications?
No, it goes to the fund, it goes to 911 fund. Communications.
Oh, you're talking about the,
Okay.
It's separate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there
it's
should
separate.
be something that shows in the budget here what the revenue is.
Yeah, it should be a fund. In here, I don't know why it's not in the old one, but it should be in here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the old one first, but it's emergency tax fund 59.
well, the details, I do have what it generated for the first quarter, the first 4 months of the year, which I think, I'm just going off recollection, I think it's just about a break-even standpoint, you know, we're not making any money.
We do have a reserve though, so.
But that's a month by month from January through April.
It shows you 2011, it generated 44,500. This money there.
Get yours, I don't know, I turned to page 61, 69. Doesn't show that, which is weird.
No, this shows.
I'm not sure it's expensive.
It wasn't even approved. January, February, March, that's the first quarter,
Okay,
okay.
so you're correct, about 240.
At this pace, we won't be generating as much as last year. The budget report really basically, this takes up about the end of June, it's only showing a $10,000 collection.
Is what?
Well,
Oh, if you're looking at what Pauline distributes out?
yeah,
Yeah, sorry for getting up there.
well, it shows what the revenue is, what the income side of it is, but,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that should be consistent with what you see there.
so you just got a first quarter,
Right.
but there may be a month or two missing off of it, I mean, it could be that much of a lag or something.
Usually they're pretty good about distributing monthly, but they got behind on one of them, I think.
There shouldn't be much probably shouldn't really be that much variation from year to year on how much revenue that fund generates when it deals with taxes.
Yeah, they had some issues with, cause they implemented a new fee, they had some, I think March is the first time we received any revenues on it.
So there should be more.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't, that's only shown through April, is that what you had?
Yeah.
It's
No,
March.
it shouldn't March.
Through March, yeah.
January, February, March.
I think there was an issue hanging it up, and I think that March is the first distribution of revenues on it, so it should have like first 2 months plus March.
This is what, that right here is what
Yeah,
they're
I don't know,
listing.
I don't think that's accurate, but that's just me. It's like 53 cents a line, is that what it is, 53 cents a line?
It's what?
I think it's 53 cents a line
Yeah.
per user.
That's cell phone or,
Yeah, land,
That's just
cell phone, VoIP. They said VoIP, I don't know how they're collecting it, but it's three different areas of revenue.
That's per year,
Per user, per month.
per month.
Look on your cell phone bill, you'll see it on there, it's 53 cents a month.
There should still be two on your bill, right?
And then they combine them. It's all just
That one,
one.
the cell phone,
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, they're all just, it's all just one now. That's part of the legislation, they did, they combine them all into one. It's like one rate, I thought there were like two separate rates going, two separate charges.
Landline was 75 cents.
Yeah, they got rid of that, it's all, there's only like one charge, that was their negotiation, it took them 3 months to figure out that between 55 and 50 cents.
Then our revenue will be less.
Yeah, well,
First of all, it went from, all the landline going from 75 to 53.
yes and no.
22 cents.
That's a 37% decrease.
Yes and no, though. I mean, people are replacing those lines with, if you replace a landline with a cell phone or VoIP, so in theory, the total charge would, I think it's probably about, so, I think it's what it's supposed to do. Because you got more lines coming in on the other side versus actual cell phone.
I got that page too, and it seems like there's July 1st is a date too, over a few years it goes up a few pennies or down a few pennies.
I didn't see that. I just know they agreed on 53. But
Got a sheet somewhere down there that tells that.
I think 53 cents a line is more than sufficient to cover all that.
Here it is right here. Could have changed. Yeah, 'cause this is, you made a change, that was the last thing I had problems. Sometime during the legislation.
Yeah, that was Thompson's. That would have been before they.
Actual vote.
But that would have been before they like, because House and Senate versions are different. That was like prior going into negotiations.
Actual vote.
Should be 53 cents a line is what they negotiated. It took them about 3 months to figure out. And it's been 50.
That would be,
Straight 50.
that,
Three super.
you guys use, well, I'm trying to figure this is, who was it? So we got check
Revenue on.
sales tax and then assign percentage, because when we have shortfall, that's just, and at this level, 35%, I would say, that, depending on what you use for the projector. Now, do you have any, I don't know whether it's some of the local collectors probably more because it's just.
Yeah, they've got the fund in there. It's only gonna show you this year's, but we should probably get the last few years to see what that's.
Well, it's been fairly consistent as far as that goes.
Well, it used to be really high, then it dips down, and then it's.
We'll give you guys a copy of that for your budget, if you have it in there. Just shows what we're actually take out of kind of what we asked for.
It's the yellow one.
No,
I don't,
it's just expenditures.
I don't have that particular page. I
This one?
think I hit that.
Yep.
Yeah,
That page.
last page.
That's the very last one.
2,200, is that what it is? That's what it says,
This is what the, this is what you collected in 2000. Well, if this will hold up there, because I'm thinking it's gonna be inflation, like, watching that.
They say they're longer than they normally do.
If you use 94.28, you have to get.
Yeah, there's room to grab the 10, 15.
You need 35, so that just goes up. I don't think they like
10:30 is what keep going.
Let's show it back. Let's show it back. Show it back. Are you doing the 911 fund or you're doing the?
No, I'm not worried, 911 fund, covered, did for joint communication, we didn't have enough money to cover that. There wasn't enough carryover
Yeah.
because the sales tax hadn't come in, we had to move a little capital outlay over it to cover the budget. But what I'm saying, then, what you may have to do is defer a little, because this was the carryover from last year. So if I would
Use that
use some of that.
as part of, yeah. How much was that?
78. That was the beginning cash, I mean, that's what was.
That push you down to about 372,000 needed.
Yeah, if you run that.
Yeah. I just need $450,000.
Yeah, like last year's budget, you used $490. As anticipated revenue, but you were budgeted for $418.
Yeah, 'cause it spiked up in 2011, I'm not sure why. Can't remember what it was in 2011, why it was a little bit higher budget. I can't remember what it was.
No, you just put in 450 anticipated revenue, that's what you put in. Which is, if you got the cap, you could, well, but yeah, your idea of a dollar amount, that way you can surely, well, what's that cash carryover, that's, I don't know why that would have covered that.
Unless your expenses exceeded revenue, expenses exceeded revenue.
I don't think that showed on this.
Do you have any questions for him, probably,
I think we got everything clarified, so
Yeah.
I'll hold you up, the benefit thing, and that answers my question on that, the reimbursement thing, so that's where your big increase is coming, like, as I was looking through this other budget, I began
Yeah,
to see there were shortfalls starting to show up. I mean, you could see that, I mean, the amount, so. That's all employee, but that's not on his health puts you.
I'll look and see what else, but I would assume everything's taken out of there, 'cause that's just the way it was set up.
Well, what I've been finding with the departments that have been putting in the employee benefits, that look like they've been putting in all this health insurance, and most of them all been running 41 to 45% of the contract or the wage package. And you've got, that comes in at 41, so that must include everything. So you're in the ballpark on that, so that's, has to include it. So, you understand what I'm saying? So, the total benefit, employee benefit package in the department that I've seen so far has been running 41 to 45%.
But the only one that does that right now is Senior Village and Joint Communications, correct?
Well, the reimbursement, still, when you compare,
When you look at it from the benefit package side, that's what.
yeah, and that 120 might be a little bit high, you know, when it's also, it might be slightly, but it's probably gonna be pretty
That's
close.
what Shelley gave us.
Like I said, we just got a 12-month
I think
history.
they're at.
Some of that can depend on whether we work short for
They're
a
gonna
month
get
or
us
two
one
without
that shows
dispatchers or.
Right.
Yeah, so that could vary a little bit, but
It
that,
could vary.
that was based on 12-month history.
But I think, what I'm saying, I think that will cover you better than, because I think,
Well, if we dedicate, you know, instead of the employee benefits line,
Okay,
we're
so
having
you
every
here?
department, then it would just go directly, there wouldn't be any reimbursement back.
Yeah, it's in there.
The cost would be attributed to each department, which would make it easier instead of the reimbursement process.
Yeah, if that way.
Yeah.
yeah, what I'm noticing is you were 67%, your employee benefit reimbursement is, as of the middle of July, you're at 67, you know, you should be about 53, 54, and you're at 67, so. See, this is a little over halfway through the year, and we're at 67 employee benefit reimbursement. Shortfall, because they
So we think the age is pretty federal.
We just have to change that percentage.
Motion or something, I don't know.
We make motion.
So when I see the solid waste, we would just have to put
Change that percentage. That's what I'd like to get to $1 now instead of where we're all kind of. I don't know why the reimbursement would be up higher. Why would the reimbursement rate be higher for employees? Whether to reimburse back more or give more people on?
I think it's just what you projected, it's, you didn't project enough.
Well, that's what I say, it can, I wouldn't think it'd fluctuate. We should be about 53, 54% right now, and it's 63, 10%,
67.
13%. I mean, you can see the fluctuation based on, well, at a higher rate, I mean, your employee reimbursement, your FICA, your social security, all that's gonna be higher if you're working overtime. If your wages are higher, which I don't know, what's our personnel side?
You're at 54, you're right on the personnel, I mean,
So,
but what I'm saying is that if you had that underestimated from last year, that's why you're gonna have a shortfall.
Yeah, it seemed like Senior Village was similar. I don't know if you look at Senior Village, it seemed like there was something similar to that, like it was higher than what was expected.
well,
I
that's
don't
the
know what
other,
that-
did we have an increase in,
Yeah,
did we have an mean, did we have any, keepers reimbursement, employee rate increase where that would have affected it, or
Increase.
like, any of that, if it got adjusted up anytime, that could make a difference?
Sure, like a five adjustment.
How's mine looking on the law enforcement side, is it find something similar there? I mean, just on the, well, I don't do employee reimbursement, so I guess you wouldn't be able to see it on mine. You'd have to, like I said, senior villages that way, there could be something up with it.
But senior village will cover the, she'll have to keep cover that. Right?
What's that?
Well, they basically will cover it.
And then, Jeff, we need to make sure that reimbursement, remember, on an employee is going back into that fund, wouldn't it? That you just started January, I think.
Yeah.
So that should go back in, and we need to make sure that's going back into that fund.
Yeah, it doesn't go away, When is that all finished, is all reimbursed back, or, what, 2012 will be done?
I don't know how to set it, but I think it's for a year or something, I don't know. So much every check.
1 year?
I don't remember how that set up.
Senior village, they haven't taken any, I mean, because I think it's in term, they have 95,000 budgeted for reimbursement. I think it's the way, that's reimbursement. They're good, see, they're okay. They're going to benefit, they're at 48%, and that's in July.
Okay, that's good.
They're okay on that.
Okay.
They have, this is a reimbursement line, so that's, well, I'm wondering, would that be, well, that's hard, that reimbursement, they haven't even used that yet. They're okay. All right.
Another question I had for you, we could probably get into it, courthouse security. I'd like to talk to the courts, see about bailiff, if they would, it seems like a lot of counties have bailiffs, and I think we could probably do some other things with security, but instead of the 2 part-time officers for their courthouse, to consider if they would hire a bailiff, and then, I don't know, the VIN officer, I'm just not sold on, I just don't know if that's a necessity that we need to have the current system. If you have to turn it down to 3 days a week, I just can't pencil it out, I can't pencil out
I
how.
did turn it down 3 days a week, yeah. I already did that, but.
Hiring an additional person, part-time, I just don't quite see that, but that may just be just me, I don't know if anybody else feels that way.
That's on the sheriff's side, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
the VIN officer.
I think that's one of the questions I got.
It's probably just a service I will probably be forced to eliminate those to the taxpayers, because.
Well, what's the rate, what are the rates that are charged, like in other counties? Like, somebody told me like Leavenworth was cheaper to have VIN inspections done.
It's all set by the state.
Well, they get a per percentage, but like the actual fee set, or in county, right?
It's $20, it's set by the highway patrol statutorily. It's $20.
What was the fee that we raised shortly after?
It was $10 a year ago, it went to 15 a year ago, July 1st, and now it's 20. So that's why I say the revenue's increased almost double.
So everybody has to follow that.
Yes.
So
Now, a lot of counties don't do it on their own. well, probably for the reason, it's just time consuming. I mean, bottom line is I feel my paperwork that has to be done by the secretary is more important than doing the VINs, but yet the VINs are service to the citizens. And if I cut them back, then they're gonna have to describe a little more, but they're gonna have to wait an extra week if we only do it one day a week or something, but the girls keep getting farther and farther behind, in my opinion, and there's things that I have to get done, and, you know.
Yeah, do you have to have a cert, to do a inspection?
No. But I wish I had more people interested. Just since I was in the paper, I bet I've had 3 or 4 elderly guys come up to me and say, hey, I'd really be interested in that. That sounds like a good retirement. I said, well, that part's a piece of cake, but I said, if I hire somebody for 20 to 24 hours a week, I said, when they're not doing bins, they're either gonna be doing something janitorial-wise, or filing, or doing something, because I said, it's not like I wanna hire somebody when nobody's getting a bin, they just sit in there on their butt and wait for somebody to come in. So I would have them doing something else. But I've had 3 real good elderly gentlemen already. One brought me in an application, he says, I'll probably put the car together for it. I said, you are? I said, there's a lot of things that have to be done before that, but I said, I'll put your application in here and remember it, but.
How many bin inspections are we doing a year?
12 to 1,500. We're doing about, and that's what I kind of done the numbers on 100 a month, which is an average, and we usually do a little better than that, that's conservative. 100 a month at $1,850 times 100 is kind of the revenue we're bringing in on that side. And I can't even remember what I told you, whether it was $10 an hour or $12.50 an hour. $10 an hour, I think, is what I was going to pay somebody to do it at 24 hours a week. But I may have to do it a little less to stay under that benefit, because I don't want to really have to pay any benefits to that and added cost. But even if I had 20 hours a week, $10 an hour, $200 a week, that's $800 a month. It would cost us, but we're going to be generating revenue of $1,850 times 100, whatever that is, $1,850. So. The only reason I'm bringing it up now and didn't do it earlier is just because we've got increased revenue, and I thought, but I'll just have to give that some thought. That's mine. There's just too many things they're getting behind on paperwork-wise, and that affects.
So the girls that are in
the girls are actually going out doing them.
Okay.
And like I said, you can watch on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I mean, they may do 10 or 12 one morning, and then only do 2 or 3 in the afternoon, or something like that, but. And on the courts, I really don't care. I think I'm just honoring what I'm hearing from over there and what the judges want. But to be honest, I don't have to have any more, people over there that I have to watch over to hurt my feelings.
We're gonna meet 4 o'clock, right?
20 minutes until 4.
Oh, 20 till 4 was the actual,
Yeah, but we're not sure. See that, right? Any further business?
I move to adjourn at 12:13.
Hey, what second that?
All in favor, signify by saying aye.